Um, so Monique, why don't you tell us um who you are just very briefly and what you do?
Certainly. First of all, I'm so excited to be here with you today, Sam. I am known to many as the magnetic voice mentor. And what I do is I help speakers and leaders align their voice to their passion and their power so that not only do they become the favorite speaker wherever they go, they attract their ideal clients like a magnet and actually have fun with sales conversations and designing their signature talks. I also work with singers and help them interpret poems and music through their voice. And I'm really excited and I feel very blessed every day because of what I get to do.
Wonderful, wonderful. So in just a short sentence, what is the name or how would you describe the specialty that you do or the modality that you'd really like to highlight today?
Well, today I'm here talking about the power of the human voice and harnessing that power for healing. And I do that in many ways. Um, the first one is I'm one of five people in the world who practice this particular modality that we lovingly call taking out the trash. And what happens is that usually when we're younger, things are moving too fast, or perhaps even things become too painful. And we unconsciously give our power away to the adults in the room. We give our voice away. And what I help people do is reclaim their voice of power so that when they stand in front of a microphone or a room of people to express their expertise, they come to that moment without the baggage of those limiting beliefs that keep us from being successful, that keep us from feeling safe to really authentically and deeply connect with our audience without putting on a performance so that we gain that know, like, and trust factor with our audience by how we show up. And that's what I help people do.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, who are the people you love working with who love working with you?
Oh, I love that question. Um, as I said, I work with speakers and leaders, but I think my favorite people to work with are those people who know they have a big message for the world, but they've either been hiding or getting ready to get ready to get ready to get ready. In other words, waiting for it to be perfect to get out there and be seen and heard. And that's one of the other things that I help people with. I help them truly prepare to be seen and heard. Most of us don't realize the toll that it takes to have eyes on us and how we change in order and adjust ourselves in order to handle that. Because, the most dangerous place to be is away from the pack. And it's actually
Mhm.
in our DNA that we don't feel safe when we're standing in front of a bunch of people, and usually rightfully so. So I help people carry that safety with them and help them prepare themselves so that their voice shows up and they show up as the expert that they are.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, can you tell us why you're passionate about the work you do and maybe if there's a story around it, let us know what that story is? We could take a little more time with this question.
Okay. Well, uh, Sam, you know that I am on a mission to empower 100,000 voices. I believe that the world is in need of strong, authentic voices now more than ever. And one of the reasons why I'm passionate about this is I feel like I can no longer sit by and watch the people who have been trained to use their voice and who know how to use the art of presence and persuasion to sway the world. And I want to get to the people who have that, what I call divine message, whose voices can vibrate the world and make this world a better place for us. And I think that the story that I would tell is when I was a little girl, like most little girls, I wanted to be just like my mom. And she was a singer. And one day she was invited to sing here in New York City at Columbia University in the chapel. And most of the time I wasn't invited. I was too young. I was probably about 6 or 7. But this time she couldn't find a babysitter. So I got to go. And I went up, I ran away from whoever was watching me, and I found myself in the dome of this amazing cathedral. And I looked down and I saw my mother, who I knew as my mother, turn into this creature of sound and light. And I felt the vibration of her voice literally shaking my little girl body. And I had no idea what was happening to me. And what I know now is that was my first experience with the power of the human voice. And my passion is to empower those who have a voice that the world needs to hear, who have a message that the world needs to hear, and help them show up in their full passion and power, be fully present in those moments, and allow their voice to reflect the beauty and the light and the passion and power that they have within them.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And so I'm wondering if you can maybe share an exercise or relate a story to us that really helps people to understand the power of the work that you do and and the power of how you work with your clients.
Well, thank you. That's that. I wasn't expecting that. So yay. This is always a interesting question for me because I really do literally design my programs around who's in front of me. So
Mm.
everyone that comes to me has different issues that are stopping them, that may be stopping them from being seen and heard and being visible, if you will. But one of the things that I love to do, which is just so much fun for me, is help people really understand the healing power of their own voice. And one of the ways that I do that is through vocal toning.
Mm.
And what toning is the creation of an extended vocal sound on a single vowel, and so that the sound comes out in waves. It literally I'll demonstrate. Would you like to try it, Sam? It's just for as
Uh,
long as your breath will let you.
that's okay. Let's maybe. I mean, I'm happy to do it, but I want to save the time for you.
Okay.
Maybe you can tell us a short client story. Maybe describe how you worked with someone and how it helped change their life.
Okay, I'm happy to do that. So let me just first explain what that does.
Hmm.
First of all, it helps sort of break the ice because you don't have to be a Grammy nominated award-winning opera singer to tone.
Hmm.
All of us have a voice and all of us can say ah for an extended period of time. And what that does is it literally massages the body and mind from the inside out and activates our safety. It releases and relaxes the vagus nerve
Hmm.
so that we are vibrating in the sound of our own voice and therefore know that we are safe. And I had a client who, I tried to work with her on this. What she came to me for was she was in law school. And one of the things that she was having a really big challenge with was networking because she had a very strong accent. Um, she's Russian was her mother tongue. And so she felt self-conscious about speaking because everybody was asking her, what were you saying? And there were lots of old beliefs about whether or not she was charming or interesting. And of course, did not identify as a singer. And so we started to work with her just being in the sound of her voice, using toning, as well as a lot of the other techniques that I use to help her stay in the moment rather than retreat to safety. And when she started toning, she was like, I'm not a singer. She was very resistant to it, as a lot of people are. And I sort of coaxed her into trying it, and she did. And what happened was that she started to fall in love with the sound of her voice in a way that she never had before. She was very critical about the sound of her voice. And because we weren't using words, we were just using sound and literally the vibration of sound within her, she started to have an experience of herself and her voice as powerful, comforting, safe, important, that her voice was one that the world might need to hear.
Hmm.
And what happened to her, I'm very happy to report, is that not only did she nail the next networking event that she went to, she landed the job of her dreams. And it was something that it was one of the things we were discussing. She said, I said, well, which, because she had about 5 jobs she was looking at applying for. And I said, which one of these do you really want? Which is the one you think you should want? And which is the one you really want? And the one she landed was the one that she really wanted.
Hmm.
And I, Sam, yes, I helped her. Yes, I opened doors. Yes, the modalities that I practiced with her worked, and that was great, and we celebrated. But what I really did was bring her back to her own magnificence. What I
Hmm.
really did was just hold space for her to see herself as the powerful being that she truly is. And that's why I'm passionate about what I do, and that's why I do it.
Hmm. Beautiful, beautiful. So if people want to learn more about you, if people want to get in touch with you, where can they find you? How do they learn more about
Well, you can go to my website, which is themagneticvoice.com. And I have some gifts for you there. I have the ability for you to sign up to have a conversation with me about the healing power of your voice, how to make your voice more magnetic, and just to meet you, because I happen to think that meeting new people is like opening presents. So I love meeting new people. I'm very interested in your story, and I love helping people tell them stories.
Mm,
So that is the fastest, easiest way to find me is to go to my website, themagneticvoice.com, and there you can send me an email or sign up for one of my free gifts. And I can't wait to meet you.
mm. Wonderful, wonderful. And so, if you were speaking to a friend or a colleague, someone you knew, how would you tell them about the Evolutionary Business Council? And what would you say to them to encourage them to be part of it?
What I love about the Evolutionary Business Council and why I signed up to be part of it is what I always talk about. The world is in need of strong, authentic voices now more than ever. And so often, those of us who really have great messages for the world, and when I say that, I don't mean the world, I mean your neighbor, your community, your client, whoever is in front of you. We never know what we're going to say that might change someone's life. And being a part of the Evolutionary Business Council is being a part of an army of light workers, being a part of a group of people who have dedicated their lives to healing and loving people. And there's something that happens to you when you don't have, you feel like a unicorn. You feel like you're a weirdo because you think about things in a certain way, and you're actually talking about energy and healing and all the things that most people don't talk about. But something happens to you when you're in a room full of people that are all talking about that actually encourage you not to hide your light, but to actually shine brighter, because then they shine brighter.
Mm,
I would say sign up right away. Your
yeah.
life will change in ways you can't even imagine. And this is a kind of thing that's very difficult to put into words, to articulate. However, what I would say is if you feel alone in your journey, this is a place to continue your journey with fellow travelers who will accept and love you just as you are and encourage you to speak your truth and be as bright a light as you can be.
Mm, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much, Monique. All right, one last bonus question. What challenge do your clients often think is normal for them before they start working with you that really shouldn't feel so normal?
Oh, that's another really great question. Thank you for that question. I
Yeah.
love questions, by the way.
Mm,
One of the biggest challenges, or I would say myths, that
mm,
clients have before they start working with me is that their voice is their voice and they don't have
mm,
any control over it or they can't change it. And what I always tell them is that our voice is a reflection of our life experience. And sometimes those life experiences have made us shut down or cut off part of our voice, so that the voice that we are speaking with and living with and tolerating is not our true voice.
Mm.
And that there are ways to breathe and know ourselves and our voices that will create a change. You're still going to be you, and it will always be your voice. But there's a possibility to be more you, to be more present, to be able to articulate yourself in a way that people can't wait to hear what you're going to say next, because you are the magic in
Mm.
your voice.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much, Monique.
Thank you, Sam. This was
Um,
fun.